Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus.
I'm Ty.
What's going on, Ty?
I don't know much, man.
How's everything going? I know you've been busting your tail and finishing up some projects and some.
I finished with school. Finally finished with school. Graduate.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
June. I'm so happy.
Okay. All right. We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there supporting you,
Yeah,
watching you walk across the stage and everything. So, well, congratulations on that,
Thank
man. And as always, I thank you for, finding the time, even with your busy school schedule, to come on here and be a part of the pod. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot today, man. We got a lot to go on. Mm-hmm. I am going to tell everybody out there that before this ends, I am going to go on a little bit of a rant today because I got some stuff. And our last segment of what we're talking about is like deep inside of me, and I need to get it out so everybody can hear it. Okay. And speak to not just, professionals, but people that's thriving to be professionals. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna start with football today. Because I know this is my dog.
Off season.
This is my dog. This is my dog favorite thing. And I try my best, and I tell John all the time, I try my best to make sure that I find some football for you. So we're gonna kind of hit it from a different angle today. Okay. So my first question I got for you, Ty, you've watched a lot of football, professional, collegiate, and you've watched a lot of Super Bowls over the years, right? Yeah. So who would you say, if you had to pick one wide receiver that's played in the Super Bowl, I don't care, you can go back to the beginning of the time all the way up to this most recent Super Bowl. Who's the best wide receiver that you've seen in the Super Bowl?
I mean, that's hard because I never seen this player play. Okay. But I feel like he's number one wide receiver for a reason. Okay. It's Jerry Rice. Yeah. You hear everything, you see all the highlights and stuff like that. Never seen him live in a Super Bowl. But when it comes to Super Bowl, he has the rings, he has the accolades. Yep. He's the number one wide receiver for a reason. Yep. Number two wide receiver, Calvin Johnson. To me, Calvin Johnson. Yep. He never played in the Super Bowl.
But just who he was and how he impacted the game.
Yep.
Was up there. I agree.
Terrell Owens, he played in one. He never won. Yeah. But those are my top three right there. Yeah. So I just got to give it to Jerry Rice.
Yeah, when I came up with this first, question, man, the same thing I hear is Jerry Rice, no brainer for me. Even though I didn't grow up to see him in all his glory moments, but just looking back on film and then looking at his accolades and then looking at how great the 49ers were back then. Yeah. And, you look at everybody else that's come behind him who say that he's the GOAT. And then, like I said, Randy Moss came to mind. I know he played in one, but he lost. Yep. Of course, like you just said, Calvin Johnson's of the world, Larry Fitzgerald's of the world. Yeah. Like all those guys that played in Super Bowls but didn't win. I thought about them, but of course, like I said, Jerry, you can't go wrong with Jerry Rice.
Did you expect a curveball with that one? Because I was like, this is so easy.
I did. I expect you to do.
You expect me to be like, That's a wild name.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Lance Swan.
Yeah, that's what you want to be. Look, I was expecting to come with some controversial things out there out the gate. So I said, let me hit him with this. It's an easy one, but I'm making sure he ain't gonna think crazy right out the gate. But I agree with you, man, 100%. And anybody out there that argues different, comment down below, let us know. But
look up the stats first.
But look up the stats and the numbers before you start just spitting out stuff. I know a lot of people like to spit stuff out without looking up the facts. But yes, 100% agree with you. Jerry Rice, no brainer. And anybody want to argue different, probably don't want to argue with you. Yeah. So let's move into the next one. All right. So you had the NFL honors, right before the Super Bowl came out. And my question to you is, did you have any issues with who received what award?
The only one I was on the fence about was Coach of the Year. Yeah. I mean, he did bring the Giants, a non-playoff team to the playoffs.
But Peterson for me was I mean, to me, there was a couple awards that were iffy on who they could be, like the MVP. I felt like Jalen Hurts was more the MVP, but I know he got hurt at the end of the year. But to me, that showed even more why he was the MVP because how they struggled without him.
Missed 2 games.
And don't get me wrong, I love Pat Mahomes, but it's to the point now. It's like, man, look, Pat Mahomes can't be MVP every year.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
he can't, and I get it. Doing it without Tyreek Hill this year.
I think that's a big thing.
That was a big thing because everybody just thought their offense was going to just flop. They weren't going to be able to be the same offense without that deep threat. Yeah. So I get that part. But to watch Jalen Hurts to go through all the scrutiny that he's gone through for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
To now, I'm not even talking about, we can go back to college, even in Alabama.
Yeah.
Being benched in the championship game. Then going to Oklahoma and being scrutinized there and talking about he's not a quarterback and he can't be a franchise guy. To go to Philadelphia and lead in the way he did.
Yeah.
And then go to Super Bowl and perform the way he did. Because to me, he outperformed Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Stats and, moments too.
Yeah. If you just want to count that fumble, other than that fumble.
Other than that fumble, to what? Because you would think, because somebody had betted me and said that, he's going to fumble at least one time. And I'm like, all right, if he fumble, is he going to bounce back from that? And to me, it's like that fumble never happened because it happened so early in the game. Yeah. But then after that, he did everything else to win the game. Yeah. So that's why I said, so that one, it's kind of a toss-up. But the Peterson, to me, was a no-brainer.
I think the offensive rookie of the year was a little wild chase, too, right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's always hard to get the rookies right. Except I think they got defensive rookie right.
Yeah.
Offensive rookies, I think you could have went with, even though he started late in the season, you could have went with Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Could have went.
Yeah, because him coming in and doing what he did, ain't too many other rookies he had a better season.
Could have went with the rookie from Kansas City, running back. Could have went with the rookie from Seattle, their running back as well. I think he got hurt towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
But, it was a bunch of rookies out there that was really shining. Chris Olave for the Saints.
Yeah, he shined
pretty much
out.
a great season as well. But
he did.
I think that offensive rookie of the year was just.
I feel like it's getting like how the NBA is. It's like popularity contest.
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
how popular are players versus their actual impact. On their team and across the league. And that's what I feel like they with the offensive player. Jefferson, he ended up being offensive player of the year.
And I don't get that. How you the offensive player of the year? How you win MVP, but you don't win offensive player of the year? That's just mind blowing.
That didn't make sense to me. And then, like I say, with the coach of the year, I think Jacksonville had to me, just from what they been and everything they've been through. To watch Doug come in there in that first year, and literally, Trevor Lawrence was a different player, win their division, and go to the playoffs in his very first year,
and almost. They was in the game. They didn't get blown out like the Giants did.
Exactly.
But they
competed in every game in the playoffs and had a chance to almost go to Super Bowl. So to me, that but like I said, I just think it's a popularity thing.
Yeah, of course.
Who you like more than the other. All right, so let's go into staying in the NFL, of course. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Travis Kelce this last couple of years, especially this year with him going up against his brother in the Super Bowl, first time that's ever been done.
Yeah.
And there was a couple people coming out saying, and I feel like they were kind of talking, stepping on their tongue when they were talking about this, but they said that they believe Travis Kelce was the best tight end ever. What do you think about that?
Right now?
Right now.
You still got Tony G, Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
Still got great tight ends, Rob Gronkowski.
Yep. Antonio Gates.
Kellen
Winslow Sr.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
some guys, man. What's his name? Witten from the Cowboys. Jason Witten from the Cowboys. Yep. So like I tell people, I get it. What he's doing now. Yes, he's the best tight end in the league now.
Yeah.
But when you talk about one of the greatest ever,
I think when his resume is done, he will be.
You think he'll be top 5, or you think he'll be the best ever?
I think he'll be top 3.
Top 3. Okay.
Yeah, that's up
to me. Because to me, it's like Rob and Tony Gonzalez. They're untouchable. To me, in my opinion.
For when you think of Rob, you think of championships. When you think of Tony G, you think of
the numbers.
The numbers. And I think, he's gonna have both once it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's why I say so. Yeah. Especially if him and Pat stay together. Now, for some reason they break up, that can change.
Let's not forget the key piece, not just Pat, Andy.
Yeah, Andy Reid. Yeah, because the way it's looking like he's not going to be coaching too much longer.
Yeah,
I know they say he's already come by and say he's coming back next year.
Yeah,
but even with his resume, he's kind of proven himself to where it's like it's not much he need to do anymore either to win the second ring. So I agree with you. I think if he stays with the organization he's with, and you don't see no real dramatic change, no injuries, because that's what George Kittle, that's kind of like, to me and him, George Kittle was kind of battling back and forth.
It was for a while.
But then Kittle got hurt, and he was hurt for a couple of seasons. Now, this year, he bounced back.
Yeah.
He was healthy this year, and he looked like, okay, you one of the best tight ends, because, it was him, and was it him and Travis Kelce that came out with the tight end,
Yeah, him. Yeah, them two.
That was the main two.
Yeah.
So like, when he first came out with that, it's like, okay, yeah, you and George are 1 and 2, and then you got Mark Andrews and other guys that kind of come up at the rear. But I do believe if George can keep healthy, then he might have something to say because with his numbers. But like you said, you got to win some rings and some other stuff you got to do. But yeah, Travis right now is the best.
I think this is like the year of the tight ends though. Just look at how many good tight ends we got. Tight end from Dallas, Schultz.
Yep.
You got Galbert. You got Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, Njoku. What I can't say his name. Njoku, I think. Well, the one from Cleveland.
Yeah. Njoku, he got hurt.
Fire move.
Yep.
Was
it Hawkinson?
Andrews,
and then you got Darren Waller, which I found out. Do you know who Darren Waller just got married to? Man,
I was pretty pissed. I was hurt,
bro. I'm like
he's winning on and off the field.
I'm on her Instagram, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, congratulations on y'all on your marriage. But that was like a shock. It was a shock to me.
I mean, it's not. They both in Vegas, so it's not.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
how they would intersect each other, but
together,
it's just like one of those things. Like I just was on Instagram. Matter of fact, it was this morning before the podcast. Yeah. I'm on Instagram and like, boom, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's the way to.
So
if you're a superstar, that's the way to do it.
Of course, but you want to keep your relationship private as much as you can.
Yeah,
but he's Darren Waller's up there to me, like you say, with the tight ends as well. So there's a lot of guys in the league right now.
Some we might be missing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some guys that's upcoming that we missing. So. All right, let's go on to the next one. We just talking about Pat, talking about Jalen. So let's talk a little bit about the rise of the black quarterback in the NFL. Because I know at one point in time, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And black quarterback was looked at as like, if you can't be this, then you can't be a quarterback. Then you're just a guy that's just an athlete out there on the field.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I feel like now we're transitioning to a place where these guys are not only athletic and able to run, but they're also showing you their accuracy as a passer, their ability to run a team and be a franchise guy. So what do you think about the rise of the black quarterback in the league?
I'm finally liking it, and I'm loving it because now, Lamar Jackson comes in the league, and it's just like, he should switch to a running back wide receiver. Other quarterbacks, it's like, they should switch positions. But now it's just like, okay, they actually can play, or this is style of offense that we need. Not only somebody that can throw for 1,000 yards, but also run for 500 plus.
Yeah.
I'm happy this year during the combine we had C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson, and they wasn't saying that narrative.
Yeah.
With them.
Yeah, they wasn't.
Anthony Richardson, I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna talk about it later, but he had one of the strongest. Combines
of the three
of
the three that worked out
of any quarterback pretty much
in a long time because Bryce didn't work out and I see he gained a little bit of weight. They say he had 205 now.
Yeah,
he like 5'10", 205. They say the same size as what's his name?
Russell?
Not Russell. Was it Russell?
He's probably pretty close to it.
Okay, yeah, I think
Russell might be a little stocky.
Yeah, I think it was Russell Wilson. They say he's about the same size as what he was when he came out of college.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed with what Anthony Richardson did.
Yeah.
His 40 time. I mean, you could tell he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest quarterbacks, out of the group. But like I say, based off what I saw, him and CJ to me made the biggest step forward.
Yeah.
And I feel like they'll be the first two to come off. Depending on how, and we're gonna talk about the NFL draft a little bit here in a second. But depending on what the Chicago Bears do with that number one pick, I feel like that's where you're gonna see the domino effect of which quarterback goes first.
I feel like you draft these, African American quarterbacks or black quarterbacks. You need to draft their system as well. You can't have somebody that's a dual threat quarterback and be like, all right, you just a pocket. You limited him only to the pocket. Look what happened to Jalen. His third year, he's finally getting comfortable. He's pretty much second or third on his team in rushing. Same thing with Pat Mahomes. He came into a system where he can flourish.
You have to give him an option to be able to do both.
Yeah.
You can't just say, do this, and this is what's going to make you great, and this is going to make the team the best.
Yeah.
Because that's what Dak Prescott's going through. They have forced him to stay in the pocket and try to throw the ball 50, 60 times.
Yeah.
And it's just not working.
No. With one receiver.
With one receiver. Exactly. And the one receiver you got, he's kind of he's not consistent himself.
Yeah.
So that's my problem with the whole, boxing these guys in to being a pocket passer.
Yeah.
There's only been one great pocket passer, Tom Brady. He's the only, pocket passer that because
Peyton?
I still got Tom over Peyton.
All day long. I mean, you just said one great.
So I mean, but TB, that's my guy. Okay. I always got to go TB first.
All right.
I always got TB 12
I'll
first.
give you that one.
But Peyton, I'll give you Peyton too. Yeah. Peyton is a great, I would say one of the best NFL minds to ever play was Peyton. Just the way he was able to read defenses and the way he was, his audible, his cadence, his command of the team and the offense and the organization. I think he was one of the greatest for that.
I got you. Okay.
But I think too, with the rise of the black quarterback, I love it because it's showing everybody that, look, man, you don't have to be this one way. You can be both ways and still be successful.
I mean, what is it? 32 teams. We have Seattle has one.
Of course, you got Baltimore. You got Cleveland with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Arizona.
Kansas
City. Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Who else?
You got Arizona.
Who else is? I think it's about it.
About 8 to 10.
Yeah, about 8 to 10. That's pretty solid. And these are not like, okay, they just like kind of suspect quarterbacks. Yeah. They like Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Yeah.
When healthy.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl quarterbacks and somebody that, with the right system and the right pieces around them can lead your team to a Super Bowl for sure. All right. So staying on Pat Mahomes, man, we just talked about TB. Do you feel like what you're seeing with Pat that you can see him eclipsing Tom Brady and all his greatness?
All his greatness?
Yeah.
Are you including his wins and all that stuff?
We talking about yards, every accolade
I don't think
Tom Brady has.
You got to think Tom Brady started young too.
He did.
He won his first Super Bowl with 22, 23?
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes 27 with 2.
Yeah.
Tom Brady 27 with about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So if he plays till he's 40, maybe. But I mean, the league is changing.
Exactly. It's getting hard. It's getting harder and harder to win too.
I would say so, but it also allowed Tom Brady to play 40 years in the league too.
That's
7
true.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
40 years old.
Yeah.
7 Super Bowls, 20 plus years in the league.
Yeah.
Mahomes probably can do it, but I don't think he's gonna get to that Super Bowl caliber.
I think
as long as he has Andy Reid, I think he can get maybe
more.
Two. I would say two or possibly.
I could see him surpassing him when it comes to passing, just because how creative he is with that. And as long as the system that's built around him now stays the same, but that's with Andy Reid. We'll have to see how his game changes when Andy Reid retire, and then with the offensive coordinator over in Washington now, you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see too much of a difference in their offense now, but when Andy Reid's going, I think you'll see a big difference.
Yeah.
So it's so yard wise and stuff like that, touchdown, interceptions. I think he can catch up to Tom. But the rings, I think Tom just set the bar too high.
Yeah.
And your situation just got to be phenomenal in order to get 8 rings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're not talking about time. You got to surpass them.
Yeah.
So to get 8 rings, it's hard to see a quarterback in the league in this NFL to be able to pass.
He's 27. If he do 10 more,
he
has 2 already. If he can get 5 more in 10 years, that's not ridiculous, but we don't know what players coming in the league, what team can be on a rise,
or
could he lose his offensive line?
Exactly. Or if he goes through an injury himself. I mean, you saw what the ankle did to him this year. And, Tom went through the knee problem early in his career.
Yeah.
Now with Pat being in the latter part of his career, for him to go through an injury, you just don't know what that can do to him.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I think for sure with certain stats he will, but with that Super Bowl, that's a tough mark to pass.
Yeah.
All right, man. So the next one, this is kind of this like part 1 of my rant, but the end segment is like where I'm really gonna go off. But I'm sick of him, man.
I like what he said.
No, man.
Did you hear what he said?
No, I don't care.
I like what he said.
I don't care, man.
All right, go ahead.
I don't care. I think it's a problem. We have come to a place where my NFL ticker, my ESPN ticker, is screaming with big bold letters talking about Aaron Rodgers has come out of the dark room. That's not news, man.
He was in that space when Batman became Batman.
Like, bro, but it's funny, but it's not funny no more. It's not like Green Bay. What are y'all doing? It's not funny anymore.
Yeah,
like he's not worth this. He's just not worth it, bro. He's not worth all this trouble.
He said out of his own mouth, "If you don't like the drama, stop following it." So why are you following the drama? Because it's apparently hitting you right here.
For everybody that's watching, this is this is a podcast, right? This is what we talk about, and this is what's all being talked about. And I'm sick of it, man. Just make a decision.
Just let it play out.
Just let it play out and do what, so he can go back to Green Bay and play his last year, get $50 million, and then come out next year talking about I'm going back to the dark room. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, and then the Jets, they just as silly. They talking about how high they on Derek Carr. Talking about they love everything he did, but we're gonna wait for Aaron Rodgers to see what he gonna do.
Which one?
Say, of course.
What you gonna do?
What you mean, of course?
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Derek Carr any day.
Nah, not right now. I'm not.
I am.
Why?
Why not?
What is he doing more than Derek Carr doing?
If you give Aaron Rodgers the Jets team, he can. In the AFC,
oh my God! Everybody's been saying that if you give him this, he's had all of that. Yeah. He's had a defense. Has he not? Has he not have defenses?
Yeah.
Okay, he's had offense, had one of the best wide receivers that he let run. He ran him off.
Yeah.
Yeah. He ran him off. I don't care what nobody tell me. You don't have Devontae Adams on your field and you don't do everything in your power. Forget that $50 million. Pay that man so we can stay here because I need him.
Yeah.
Okay, he's had everything. He's had a running back. He's had an offensive line, and they're losing in the first round. Their home field advantage. They're losing.
Yeah.
So Derek Carr can't do that? Derek Carr can't get you the first round players and lose?
Apparently he can't.
He did it with the Raiders? He did it with the Raiders?
He had the same opportunity with
he did it with the Raiders.
Best running back, the best wide receiver.
He did it with the Raiders, and then this year they gave up on him.
They did give up on him.
So it ain't his fault. Yeah. McDaniels don't like him.
Did they go to the playoffs?
They didn't go to the playoffs this year.
Did they go last year?
They did last year.
Okay.
Yep. Right. Remember last year, between them, the Chargers.
Yeah, okay.
And they won their game. Chargers lost their game.
Yeah, okay.
They went to the playoffs. They lost in the first round.
So he has, one playoff win?
Yeah, he got
one playoff appearance.
He does.
Okay.
Well,
I'm still taking Rodgers.
He been, and look at all the bad teams he's been on.
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I know you are, but I'm not taking.
So you're a GM right now. Somebody come up to you.
Right now, if you're telling me it's Aaron Rodgers or it's Derek Carr,
if you're a GM and they come to you with these two cards,
I'm picking Derek Carr.
Your owner gonna fire you.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Straight up.
I'm not dealing with all that unnecessariness, man. Yeah. I want to talk about football.
Okay.
I don't care about Aaron Rodgers going to Iceland, Greenland, wherever he want to go, he can go. I don't care. Wakanda, he can go to Wakanda if he want to. I don't care. But bro, it's not newsworthy. It's not newsworthy, bro. We're literally, I'm watching people on every network, every podcast. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers went to the dark room. He said he gonna find clarity in the dark room. This man was literally on Pat McAfee podcast talking about, yeah, man, I'm gonna go in the room and I'm gonna shut off everything. I'm not gonna have a cell phone. It's gonna be just complete darkness for about 4 days. And in those 4 days, I should come out with an answer.
That's that hallucination stuff he be on. That's what that is.
I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. I just don't want to hear no more about Aaron Rodgers because every offseason, the man he's not winning enough to be talked about that like this.
Okay, so if he goes to the Jets, take him to the playoffs,
AFC
Championship,
and
still nothing.
What? So he go to the AFC Championship and then lose? Yeah. What's the difference?
I mean, he got him.
There is no difference.
Yeah.
Win Super Bowls, man. You got one Super Bowl. Tom Brady, I'm doing this for. Tom Brady, he retired right now. And he said, man, I'm thinking about coming back. All right, Tom, we'll wait on you. That's what the Buccaneers did last year. They waited on him.
Even this terrible season?
Yeah. I'm waiting on him. Absolutely. You got 7 rings. When it happens when you come around. This year, what was he supposed to do this year?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that ain't his fault.
I'm going Aaron Rodgers over Derek Carr.
Well, you can have him. You can have him. All right, so let's transition to the NFL draft, man. So like we were just talking about, with the quarterbacks that we saw, with the Will Anderson defensive players, Jalen Carter, which we're gonna talk about Jalen Carter a little bit later on in the pod. Do you think, like I said, I'm a Bears fan, as much as it dreads me to my soul.
Trade it.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Do we keep the pick or do we trade the pick?
Trade it, trade back, get more assets, work on your offensive line, defense, more wide receivers. You got bigger plans than drafting a number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean number 1 quarterback right now.
Which I agree with you 1,000% because I feel like that fact that that's even a conversation to me is asinine.
Yeah.
Like why are we even thinking we have a quarterback? Like you just said earlier, we have a quarterback that's a dual threat quarterback that Jalen Hurts just showed us. If we put him in the right system with the right pieces around him with a solid defense, Super Bowl bound.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel too. I feel like we need to trade as many times as we need to. Mm-hmm. If we get all the way back to the 15th pick, I don't care.
Yeah,
we need to get as many pieces because we got the biggest. I want to say the biggest bankroll.
Yeah, because you're not paying nobody.
We ain't paying nobody.
Yeah, you got rid of your 2 highest paid players.
Yeah, so we're not paying anybody. Yeah. So we need to focus on, like I said, offensive line. We need to go out there and get us some defensive pieces. Mm-hmm. That means secondary and linebackers. Yeah. And then we need to put some solid. We need to put like I say, ain't got to be Pro Bowler, but just some solid veterans around that offense and running back. So that way we can start thriving in the right direction.
I think y'all need to do what Detroit did. Mm-hmm. Like they built through the draft, got some veterans that came in there and showed them how to win.
Yeah.
And they're still young.
Yeah. And then Dan Campbell coming in, which I honestly, he would have been my pick for coach if they'd have made the playoffs. If they'd have made the playoffs, I'd have had him coach of the year. You still could have gave it to him, but I just think him missing playoffs, that would kind of hurt his ability to. That's why, like I said, the Giants quarterback and Peterson was above him just because they made it to the actual playoffs.
Yeah. So this is not on here, but I want to see your opinion on it. Daniel Jones asking for $45 million.
Stupid.
You're not giving it to him?
I'm not giving it to him.
Okay.
I'm not even talking about that with him. Like, it's Saquon Barkley. That's the only person I'm talking to about some money. I'm not talking to Daniel Jones about some money. You had one good season, son. You think that one good season is worth $45 million?
One good season. He's finally getting a head coach that understands what coaching is.
What's going on today, Ty?
I'm just saying.
What's going on today, man?
Joe Judge was.
Ty, what's going on
Joe
today,
Judge
man?
was a terrible pick for the Giants.
What is going on today?
And you draft a quarterback to be your.
You doing the same thing you did for that Lamar Jackson situation, talking about all this money he should get,
and he still should get paid.
Oh my God! So Lamar Jackson should get paid $50 million a year.
I'm not saying he's worth $45 million. I'm just saying like he has the potential now that he has Brian Daboll to show what he really is about. Man. Joe Judge was a terrible pick for them. A special team coordinator.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. That was terrible.
Yeah, so that's like my biggest flaw with the NFL is you draft these young quarterbacks, but you don't give them the right pieces.
Of course,
like you draft,
they're going to terrible organizations.
Like for instance, Zach Wilson. Yep. I don't know what his ceiling could be or could have been, but he's going to a head coach that was a defensive coordinator.
I agree.
Nothing to basically blossom him.
There's nothing that you can say is in place right now that's going to help him be the quarterback that y'all drafted him to be.
Yes. And I think that's asinine right now.
Yeah, I agree. And
look what happened.
And to give up on him like that, to me that's. And if I'm Zach Wilson, trade me, get me out of here. I don't want to be here because literally y'all have done nothing in my 2 years of being here to help me become a better quarterback. Y'all at least give me a fire offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's going to, like you say, develop a system within my skill set to make me the best. You literally just want me going out there just throwing the ball.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Zach Wilson, he's a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
You're not letting me run. You want me to go out here and read these defenses.
Yeah.
That I've never came, I'm from BYU. Let's be honest. I'm from BYU. I haven't seen the type of athletes on the field consistently every game, every week. And now you want me to come out and throw the ball 40 times with a defensive coach?
Yeah. That's the killer right there. And it kills probably, I would say, over 50% of the quarterbacks. Luckily Trevor Lawrence got a Peterson.
Yeah, because he was trending that way too.
Luckily Tua got.
Yeah, him and Tua was trending that way. Yeah.
So
his quarterback's weird, man. Head coach is weird, bro.
Hey, he's a genius though.
He is a genius, but that joker there is a weirdo. He be saying some suspect stuff in his interviews, bro. I be listening to him, and you ever watch him like when he talk, he's like a computer.
Yeah.
Like he downloading and he just like
process.
He process it. He comes out with
that's one of them too smarts for their own good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro. So, but I agree with you now. But $45 million, nah, we're not giving Daniel Jones that. I'm not giving him that, and I'm not even close to that. I'm not even nowhere.
I would franchise him.
They're gonna have to. Yeah, because he is a serviceable quarterback in the league. Don't get me wrong.
They're not gonna get a championship out of him.
Yeah, they're not gonna get a championship, and you're not gonna go far in the playoffs with him either. But without him, where do you go? There's no quarterback you can go get to give you at least what he gives you.
Yeah.
So, and that's what Washington, their problem is they don't have a quarterback.
Oh, I'm trading. Chicago. What you want? They got a defensive tackle that they can give up.
That's true.
Payne and Allen, one of them can go.
Yeah.
They got two great defensive ends. Hey,
if I'm any team in the search of a quarterback, yes, I'm on the phone with the Bears every single day. They're gonna have to tell me to stop calling them because I'm not gonna stop calling y'all until you answer the phone and give me what I want. What do you want?
Yeah.
Because that especially like I said, if you don't have no quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and I feel like C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson should be the first two to come off the block anyway. In my opinion. Yeah, I think so. Ooh. I think so. Because all that Pat Mahomes comparison, I don't see it with Bryce Young, and I think we need to stop doing that to young guys that's coming into the league. Yeah. And then not just football, basketball too. Stop comparing these guys to guys that they kind of look like, because all you're doing is setting them up to me in the wrong way. Yeah. Because like you said, where are they going? They're going to a bad team like the Houston Texans, right? You put Bryce Young in Houston Texans, do you think he's going to really have a good first year?
Oh, no.
Absolutely
probably not a good first 5 years. But
exactly.
But I'm just saying, I'm taking Bryce Young. Okay. Well, easy.
That's where we differ. Okay.
Bryce Young, easy.
All right, man. So let's transition into basketball now. All right. Let's go into NBA, of course. Trade deadline this year. You know, a lot of stuff happened, a lot of movement in the league, a lot of demand trades, and a lot of unforeseen trades that happen. What's your thoughts on the trade deadline? Do you feel like, did you see some pieces go places you knew was going to happen? Were you surprised by anything, or like say?
I think I was more surprised, of course, the Kyrie Irving KD trade. I feel like everybody was down on what Brooklyn got. I like what Brooklyn got.
Brooklyn still got a good team.
They do.
That one thing I could say that
they have pieces that's hungry.
Exactly. One thing I could say that KD, James, and Kyrie did, even though I didn't like the way they left, they did leave the organization in a good place.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
They've gotten draft picks from their departure, and they've gotten serviceable players that are upcoming in the league to me. Because Mikal Bridges, I mean, he been killing.
Yeah,
he's had 2 40-point games over there. He had a 38-point game the other night on that with that comeback against Boston. Yeah, they were down 28 points, and then you got Spencer, who's back where he came from. Yeah, he's better player. Cam Johnson. I just think with what Brooklyn got now. Now, of course, you ain't got no championship team.
No, you don't.
But you got a playoff team.
Yeah,
and you can't.
And they pretty much well under the cap. They can bring somebody in that
wants to be there.
They can find maybe that 1A star to come there possibly if they want to. And
also, throw you this. I know it's not on our topic list either. It's a curveball to you too. What do they do with Ben now? Do they get rid of Ben?
I'm restructuring this contract. I'd keep him.
Keep him.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you don't need points out of him no more. You got Cam Johnson. You got Dinwiddie. You got Cam Thomas now.
Got Cam Thomas where he balling. Yeah.
And then you have
still got Neil. You still got Neil. Still got Neil. Yep.
Still got Seth. You don't need them. They put him on the bench now.
Yeah, I'm saying
he might finna get some DMPs.
That's what I'm saying. Because honestly, I know they just read up on Jock Vaughn's contract. Yeah. Because he's doing a phenomenal job over there with all what's going on. Like I said, there's some culture issues there too. Yeah. Not only just personnel, but culture issues. Yeah. But I like what he's doing. But I'm with you. I could see him getting a lot of DMPs the rest of this season because they don't need him. Yeah. Because before, when you had KD and you had Kyrie, it made sense to have you out there because we try to put this big three out there. But now it's like we got these young pieces, man. They thriving. Yeah. We winning.
They bringing back that culture before they got KD and Kyrie. Exactly. When they had Dinwiddie, Vert. You had that young team. They wanted to be there, want to win,
and just like I said, and care about basketball. Yeah, because for a long time it hasn't been about basketball in that organization. Yeah. So, but I agree with you. I like I said, I knew the KD thing was eventually going to happen because, like I said, all summer long he wanted to be out there anyway. Yeah, so I knew eventually it was going to happen. But then the Kyrie thing did shock me a little bit. But, I mean, honestly, I do like him over in Dallas. I think him and Luka, with enough time, of course, I don't see it this year. I know you're a Dallas fan, and I don't see it this year really panning out like you want, but I think a real offseason. And then, because right now, I mean, y'all struggling as on the defensive end.
Yeah, and I think we gave up two of our great defensive players. So
yeah, and then now y'all lacking inside because all y'all have down there is Powell and Christian Wood, and he don't play big.
No, he don't.
So I mean, and y'all, I think, but y'all have don't y'all got JaVale McGee on the bench?
He get DMPs.
He get DMPs. Yeah, because I mean that would be some size that you would need against these teams that you're gonna have to go through in the playoffs. Yeah, but yeah, if he getting DMPs, and I mean they just don't believe that he can help.
I think Phoenix and Dallas got the same problem. There's no defense.
And they got all the offense.
All the offense, no defense.
Because even like today, y'all playing them today, and you can tell like it's just if Booker's not scoring 30, KD gonna try to score 30, and then Chris Paul he kind of he's kind of, to me, been pushed out the offense now with KD on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
And with Booker on the floor.
My big three now is Aiden, Booker, and KD.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, you're just a facilitator. You're just there to pass me the ball.
Yeah, that's what it seems. That's what it looks like.
Give me 10 and 10 a night.
Yep.
And we can take the rest.
Yep. That's what it looks like.
Us three can take the rest.
That's what it looks like.
But them losing, Johnson and Bridges. Bridges played 82 games.
Yeah, he's healthy. Yeah.
Healthy. I think they said it's only maybe like 8 people in the last 5 years that played 82 games straight.
Yep.
And he's one of them.
Yeah.
But you losing him, that's a big knock on your defense.
Absolutely.
Because he's out there guarding Luka. He's out there guarding. Yep.
He's going on the other better players.
Yeah, your big players. He might not give you 30 points, but that's what Booker was for. Mm-hmm. So, is Booker the leader?
Is Booker the leader?
We know KD is not the leader.
Yeah. He has to be. Booker has to be.
I don't think so.
I think Chris Paul will still put himself in that place, but I truly believe for them to get to that place they need to get to, then Booker has to step up and be more of a leader on the team. But I don't think he'll do it either. I think Chris Paul is still going to be that leader just because of who he is.
Yeah.
But we already know KD. KD just want to play basketball. That's all he wanted to do. That's truly why he left Brooklyn, because he just felt like he just couldn't play basketball.
Yeah.
So when he got hurt, I think his mind started like, hey, man, these injuries keep racking up on me. I ain't really got too much more time to try to win a championship. Let me just force my way out of here and go somewhere I can try to win.
Do KD get more than 4?
No. You think he get more than 4?
I think he can. I think he got a lot of more time to get.
No, I think he still got more. He still got more life in his game. I'm not in because he's still young. We were 30, 32, 32, 33.
No, LeBron's 38. He might be like 34, 35.
Yeah, so he still got time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. As long as he don't, injury bug don't keep knocking him.
Yeah,
which we already know who injury bug is deep in him. In the league, Anthony Davis, he can't stay healthy to save his life. And I thought it was, I'm off topic again. I thought it was incredibly crazy that when LeBron went down with that foot injury, I told my guy at my job, I say, you just wait. I promise you, just wait. AD is going to be hurt.
Oh, yeah, he did get hurt.
He's going to be, and literally, my man was in the office. He like, man, DeMarcus, did you just see it? I said, what? AD's not playing tonight. I said, duh. He don't want to be out there without LeBron, man. He don't want to be out there and have all the chips on his shoulders to have to carry these folks to a playoff. He don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Bro, all y'all trying to do is make the play-in right now. Y'all got to win like 3 or 4 games to make the play-in.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. But yeah, I knew it. But yeah, as long as the injury bug don't hit him, hit KD like it's hit AD, I think, like you said, I think he can probably get one more. But with the way the West is, man,
yeah, he moved back to the West. Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough to win over there. If he stayed in the East, you got a little bit better chance. You ain't got as much trouble. But in the West, as you can see, look at top 6 teams got 34 losses. You got 34 losses and they in the top 6. So that's why I say it's just tough. All right, so let's talk about super teams for a second. There's been a lot of, since, beginning of basketball, you go Magic Johnson, Lakers, Boston Celtics with Larry Bird and them. I mean, you go all the way back to when KG came to Boston and, all the whole term for super team. But out of all the super teams that's been in the NBA, which one would you say has been the worst super team you've seen?
The worst?
Yeah, the worst super team.
Who? I'm going to throw you a curveball. Okay. The Lakers, when they had Kobe, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Shaq, and they lost to Detroit, I think that might have been the worst. Only because you had Gary Payton and Karl Malone that was like 36, 38 out there on one leg.
Yeah.
And going against a young, fresh Detroit team.
Okay.
I don't think you was expecting that one.
No, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah.
I thought you would go to the Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Lakers with Kobe Bryant. I thought you would go
that one didn't pan out because Steve Nash wasn't really healthy.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Or you can go with Hakeem, Charles, and Clyde.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Yeah.
But, of course, Brooklyn with KD and them, that was.
Oh, yeah.
That's number one.
I would say that, too, but I wanted to throw you the curveballs on that one.
Not only did they fail at just being on the court, they just failed.
They only had 20 games together.
Yeah, 20 games total.
Yeah.
Y'all just never, and you just created a bunch of drama.
Yeah.
And you let people know that a lot of times these dudes be fake friends. In the league, in professional sports, because if y'all was real friends and y'all want to come over there and win, y'all have did more to make that job, make that happen. But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Houston was definitely on the list, but to me, Brooklyn, And then, like I said, that was comical what was going on with the Lakers back then.
Yeah.
It's just like they just were just throwing stuff at the wall.
They was trying to get that.
Yeah, just hoping stuff stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like that wasn't there. But yeah, that's definitely Brooklyn. But I do like that pick. All right, let's go best duo. Who the best duo in the NBA right now?
Best duo, I'm going Jaylen Brown and Tatum.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say Giannis and
Middleton.
I don't know if it's Middleton because Middleton been hurt, so it had to be Drew
Holiday.
Yeah,
put him in.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now.
Yeah, right now for sure.
Yeah, right now.
Sure. Yeah, because they're in Boston, Brown and Tatum, they're the only two, like you said, consistently 30 points apiece, and then their impact on that team is just it's a lot more than what you're seeing anywhere else.
I was thinking about Jokic. Joker and Murray. But Murray, this is Murray's first season actually being back on the court fully healthy.
Yep.
So, but I think I'm going with Tatum.
And then I had PG and Kawhi, but like I said,
they can't hold a lead.
They can't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like to me, there ain't nobody else. I mean, you got like I said, LeBron, AD, but health is a problem over there. And you go anywhere else, if you go to Phoenix with Booker and Chris Paul, it's like yeah. And then you go to Dame. He
by himself.
He Lone Ranger over there by himself.
Yeah.
So if we had to go best duo, I would definitely go there with them. All right. Now, going back to Phoenix, new look, Phoenix, right? Like you just said, you got Aiden, you got KD, Booker, and Paul, and the rest of everybody else on the team. Would you consider this group to be a super team?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
But next year, I'm telling Chris Paul, we need to restructure your contract, get some defensive players around us, and some good 3-and-D guys. Yeah. But I think that's a super team. You got out of those four, any of them can give you 20 points a night easily.
Okay. You got two top 5 scorers in the league too.
Yeah, two top 5 scorers. Arguably one of the best point guards that playing ever right now, Chris Paul, an up-and-coming center, that just wants to play pretty much as well.
And I'm glad you said, because remember you sent me a video of DeMarcus Cousins talking down about Chris Paul. So, and I want to ask this question. So what make Chris Paul like the number one name that everybody goes to when it comes to point guard?
I think it's just his passing ability, his vision of the court. Okay. His scoring ability, his rebounding, he's always statistically top 5 in assists, top 5 in points, as a point guard. Yeah. So
and steals too. He's up there typically
as well. So
okay.
I think he's gonna probably finish behind John Stockton in assists.
Yeah, all time. Yeah. And I say the same thing because like I said, when you look at the landscape of point guard in the league now, he's still that one that's like a systematic point guard. Yeah. Because I feel like everybody else is playing point guard. They're not point guards. Yeah. John Morant's not a point guard. Dame Lillard's not a point guard. Steph Curry's not a point guard. That's what I was talking about. I think we had a conversation about just, title them guard because they're not really out there facilitating. They're not really out there trying to, lead the team in, vocally or, by making, people be in the right places. They're more of, okay, I'm a scorer. And through my scoring, that's going to help the team. Yeah. So I think, like I said, he's still that like systematic QB that you have on the floor that's needed. All right. So, LeBron has been in, all over the news, of course, for being the number 1 spot. Passing Kareem all-time scoring, which I did not like what they did at the All-Star game with that whole Karl Malone, Kareem, and then him come out the floor. And that's another thing about the All-Star game, man. It was horrible. It was just like everything about the All-Star weekend was just horrible. From the dunk contest,
you once again, the dunk contest
at all.
I liked it.
Not at all. What you liked about it? You like what, Mac? Somebody winning a dunk contest and not even really on an NBA team.
I feel like
the insult to injury, the 76ers want to sign him to a 10-day contract that he wins the dunk contest, but he been in the G League his whole career. Yeah. Which ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking him for being in G League, but really, we got G League players winning dunk contests now?
It's not bad. The dunks was good. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
The dunks was good. Finally,
I've seen much better on YouTube, buddy.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. That's who they need to bring in. I would say, hey, let's get our, Giannis, LeBron.
So that's what somebody said. Somebody said it's not good because we don't have the actual people playing in the All-Star games in this dunk contest. Back then, it was Dominique, Jordan,
all your best were in it. Yeah. If they're not going to be in it, then let's go get these guys that's online, that's just doing stuff like, man, like I said, I didn't even think was possible that they're doing certain dunks, jumping over people, the creativity. Why not just bring them in and let them be a part of the dunk contest? And like I said, there's a prize win, money for them or to a charity or whatever you want to do, and bring back the, true essence and excitement for the dunk contest. Because like I said, the skill challenge was trash.
I didn't watch that.
Trash. 3-point contest was trash.
They ain't won that.
I mean, they ain't won that.
Yeah.
And then you go to dunk contest, then the All-Star game. Like I said, you got Giannis play 2 seconds. LeBron play a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, and then it was a glorified just you score, I score. No defense being played. Like Kobe Bryant, late great Kobe Bryant said, man, you got to go out there and compete. Because people pay a lot of money to go to All-Star game. A ton of money to go to All-Star game. And we literally just watch these dudes just go up and down the floor. Like, there was no defense.
It was the first year they did the whole Kobe rule when he passed. I felt like that was the last time we actually had defense and a great All-Star game.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's just – at first I thought they were still going to keep up to tradition. But you got to think Giannis didn't play in the fourth. LeBron didn't play in the fourth. So you take the ones that actually has that competitive spirit in them. They took them out.
To bring the level up in the fourth quarter. Yeah. It just wasn't there.
Yeah. Even last year was okay.
Yeah.
But this year it was just
Tatum
had 55.
Yeah, it's just trash. Yeah. But I brought up LeBron going number one spot because I wanted to ask you, like, what does that do for LeBron, him being number one now? Does that put him in the official spot of, okay, greatest of all time, or that's just more of like, hey, it's just showing everybody that LeBron was an actual scorer, unlike a lot of people thought?
I think you got to put him in the greatest of all time category, but it's one of them things. Again, he's not my GOAT.
Yeah,
MJ's my GOAT.
Yeah,
but
it's an era. It's an era thing for me. Yeah. Now I've had this conversation so many times, and even the notes here, I had it straight up just say, hey man, we just got to stop comparing them two. Just stop comparing LeBron. Stop comparing LeBron to Michael. Stop comparing all these guys.
I never liked the LeBron and Michael comparison. They're two totally different players.
Two different players. Yeah. Like I tell people all the time, if you want to have a conversation and people laugh, if you want to say LeBron and Magic,
I always said that.
I'll fight that.
Yeah.
We can have, that's a real conversation because now you're talking about the same type of player. Like if you're going to say Michael, Kobe, because they're the same type of player. Killers. You're talking about a killer versus a guy that's an all-around player that is willing to pass up the final shot. That's willing to, make sure other players around him have opportunities when he should be the one taking the last shot. So that's why I always say it's an era thing with when you was born, who you actually got to see, because a lot of people they never even saw Michael play. They saw LeBron play their whole life. Yeah. So they just automatically think, oh, because of that, and the little snippets that I see of Michael, of Kobe, of Pip and all these other players, they not better than what LeBron doing. So I just think that conversation needs to be dead. Quit having it, because honestly, to me, like I tell people, if you really want to compare the two, give me 20 plus years of Michael and 20 plus years of LeBron. To me, the numbers aren't even close.
Yeah, you got 4 years of college for MJ.
If he come out at 18, he played 22, 23 years straight, no drop off.
You can say that about Kareem too.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's got to be more of, like you say, okay, from my era, because I only saw this guy play, I think he's the best of my era. So I will agree, of this era, he is the greatest of this era. Yeah. But when you talking about large scale over all the top 75 and all, I don't have him up there. Now he's top 5 to me, or you would do top 3. But in my opinion, I think it's just a conversation that needs to be dead. Yeah. All right. So speaking of talking about LeBron, talking about Kobe, I picked 4 guys on on the list. Who you think was the most fun to watch in their prime? I got Kobe, Shaq, Curry, and LeBron. I know these are all totally different players. Yeah. But just watching their careers, who was the most fun for you to watch?
It's still, I feel like Curry's still in his prime. He's just won a championship. Yep. LBJ, he's pretty much on his latter end of his career. Yeah. Shaq was the most dominant. Yeah. Kobe was the most, athletic, scoring. Yeah. It's one of them things where it's just like, it's a generational thing too. Yeah. We grew up on Kobe, Shaq, and LeBron. Yeah. Curry changed the whole game of
the landscape,
basketball
the
right
landscape
now.
Of game. Yep.
Look how many people take threes to when Kobe and Shaq was taking threes.
Yeah. Shaq, yeah. You're right. Yeah, because everybody back then they were all specialists.
Yeah.
Even when LeBron coming up, everybody was a specialist. Mm-hmm. But Curry did change the game and made everybody understand that, hey, man, 3 balls the way to go.
Yeah. And I feel like even last year, just going back to the All-Star game, even when Curry won the Kobe Bryant Award, Curry in that All-Star game was phenomenal. And
with his shooting, just like how Dame was.
Yeah.
That's why I said I would have wished they would have gave it to Dame, but I understood the connection with Tatum and Kobe. They wanted to give,
of course,
they wanted to give him an award. But the way Dame was shooting that ball in the All-Star, 48 feet with no problem.
Yeah.
I agree. That was the most exciting part of the night.
I feel like anytime Curry steps on the floor, it's just like, oh, what is he gonna do now? So I would say who's more fun to watch right now.
Yeah.
And right now, the era we live in, I'm going Curry probably.
Okay. Yeah. I went Kobe just because of like I said, all the different moments that he gave us. From not playing to finally playing to winning the 3-peat to winning without Shaq, and 81 point game. Just like you always knew you're gonna get 110% from him.
Yeah,
and he was going out there to do whatever he needed to do to win. Mm-hmm. So, and in those moments that he created because of that attitude and that mama mentality and just who he was as a player, I just felt like now Shaq was fun to watch too. Him breaking goals, breaking backboards, dunking on folks, diving into the crowd. Mm-hmm. So he was like he was close to being my pick. But I still think Kobe. But I do agree with you. I do enjoy watching Curry for sure. All right, so let's talk about titles now. All right, so you got a lot of players in the league that haven't won titles, have come close to winning titles. Give me 5 guys you can think of that like under the most pressure to win a title.
That hasn't won one or have won one or just in general?
In general. You can go if they've already won one. If you feel like they're still under pressure to win another one, you can pick them.
Okay.
Most of my guys I have on my list are guys that haven't won one.
Okay. I'm going with Harden.
Okay.
I feel like KD is under pressure now. Mm-hmm. He just got traded.
Yep.
I would say LeBron, but since he just got the scoring title, I don't think he's under that much pressure anymore. Because I think LeBron was so much under pressure of trying to get there with Kobe, Magic, and
I think Jordan. Now if he doesn't win another ring, he's okay.
Yeah,
he's
I think so
now.
too.
Yeah, because just him being number one, and surpassing and really setting a new bar for the scoring title, then I think he don't have to win another ring. So he's not under a lot of pressure, especially with his teams being as bad as they are. Yeah, and plus when Bronny come to the league, you already know he talking about going wherever he's at anyway. Mm-hmm. So rings might not be in his future.
So I got Harden, KD.
Okay.
I'm going Paul George.
Okay. I like that one.
I'm going Dame.
Okay.
And 5th, CP3.
CP3, yep. CP3 was number 1 on my list.
I think Harden was number 1 on mine.
I had CP3, I had Harden, I had Dame, I had Embiid, and I had Jokic.
I think them two still young.
But the only reason why I put Jokic up there, because I said you getting a lot of MVPs, and don't get me wrong, you are balling. Mm-hmm. But then y'all get to the playoffs, and then it's like smoke screen. Like y'all can't do any of the stuff that y'all were doing in the regular season. Yeah. So that's why I put them up there, and Beeb's up there too.
This is gonna sound terrible, but I don't want to see Denver win the championship.
Why?
I don't want to see Denver win the championship. I'm
good.
You
don't want to see NBA Finals in Denver, man?
No. They don't even get played on TV for real. Like, I'm asleep by the time they game comes on.
That's true.
I don't want to see Denver in the playoffs.
Man. The elevation, baby. We in the,
Denver in the finals. That was like Toronto being in the finals that year. Like
or like Utah Jazz all the years in the 90s when they were in the finals.
I'm good on.
They just the look of the team just don't.
I'm good on Denver in the playoffs. I don't want to see that.
Hey, I just
Would you watch it?
I can feel you. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a fan.
You gonna go to sleep on it?
I'm just saying, like
you gonna be tucked in your bed nighttime by the time that game come on.
But I also feel like whoever if they do make it, whoever they play gonna beat them. Like if Milwaukee played Denver, I think Milwaukee walks Denver. And I think Boston walks Denver. Now, of course, Jokic's gonna have a triple-double like he's doing. Like I said, what he's doing is phenomenal. Yeah. Being a big dude like he is that don't have all the mobility. He's not the most athletic. He can't shoot the greatest, but he's able to get triple-doubles and he's able to impact the game better than anybody else on the floor.
Yeah.
So that's why I say he's under that radar of pressure to win a championship. Because like I say, you back-to-back MVP, possibly gonna win it again this year.
Yeah.
Because right now, who else are you gonna put up there in front of him?
Yeah.
I mean, Giannis got hurt a little bit and he kind of fell off. But Jokic, triple-double, if he continues to average that for the rest of the regular season, I mean, I don't see nobody else being MVP.
Yeah.
So 3 years in a row, so that's my 5. And then let's talk about Westbrook a little bit, man. I'm trying to figure out, I know we talked about, Ben Simmons and his fall off. But did you see the disrespect that Draymond Green had for Russell Westbrook in that Clippers and Warriors game, bro?
I don't blame him. He can shoot that 10 out of 10 times.
Ty,
if he make
wait a minute, Ty.
So what? Oh, what?
This man was literally in the paint.
I'm not guarding it. But you gotta think
the referees could have called defensive 3 in the key. He was so deep in the paint, guarding the paint, and Russell Westbrook was just walking around the 3-point line. Not even
because you gotta think
what's happened.
If you're Draymond Green and you step up on him, he's gonna blow by you.
But I understand. I'm not saying Draymond didn't do something wrong. He did what he's supposed to do. Because Kobe used to do it to Rondo.
Yeah.
He used to play called a Rondo D. He played free throw line or down and let Rondo, but he would just hover, wherever you going, so you just can't get a beeline to the rim.
Yeah.
Like Westbrook didn't even try to step in and get a little midi.
Yeah.
Anything.
I'm letting him shoot it.
I'm like, but
great defense, Draymond. Great defense.
I'm just trying to figure out, man, this man was an MVP.
He's not the same, though.
But
this is what 6 years removed from his MVP,
and like every year he on a different team. It's just hard to watch, man. But it also shows me, and like I try to tell everybody out there, if your game doesn't evolve or what's going on around you amongst the other players in the league, that's why you get treated that way.
I mean,
because he's never worked on shooting.
Yeah. So,
I mean, but still, bro, like you should be able to get to a spot and be able to get your shot off.
Yeah.
So you don't get disrespected like that. Because that's just bro. As an NBA player, you're not going to ever guard me that way. Ever.
Role could be vice versa for Draymond. I'll let Draymond shoot it 10 out of 10 times.
But at least Draymond going to take it, though.
He
right. At least going to take it. Like, Russell, you should have took those shots.
Yeah.
But to not even look at the rim, to not even attempt to get to the basket or at least get something going, you literally just stand there and it's literally 5-on-4 on the court. Because Draymond, he running all over the place guarding 2 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that's why I brought that up because, man, like he's been traded to the Clippers and they haven't won since he got there. So, I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel like if it's a good pickup for the Clippers or do you feel like, man, it's just another team Russell going to be on and he's on the team?
I think they need a point guard.
Of course.
They got rid of 2 point guards in the trade deadline.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a bad acquisition. He's gonna give you 110% every night.
Yeah.
So
he still have some athleticism left in the tank.
Yeah.
And he's gonna play hard, but like I say, it's starting to look like, bro, that's not enough no more.
Is this his last season?
I don't know, because the Clippers haven't come out and said or haven't shown any interest to bring him back next year. And I get it. It's only been like 5 or 6 games. We got to wait and see. As long as they don't fall out of the playoffs, we got to wait and see what they do in the playoffs. But if they don't bring him back, I don't know what happens with him. Because it's the last year of that contract. So they're not obligated to, keep him anymore. He's a free agent after this year, basically.
Yeah. So
I don't know where he goes, man, honestly. I wish he would have never left Washington because I feel like Washington was the best team for him. So let's transition into Dame's 71-point game. He just recently did that.
Yeah.
And it's top. I think it's like he's like number 8 on the list, tied for 8 on the list or something like that for most points ever scored. But the reason why I brought the 71-point game was because we seen Kobe, we didn't see Wilt, but it's recorded that he had 100 points. Would you say, based off of what Dame did in that 71-point game, do you feel like that was the best performance you've ever seen score that type of points?
I didn't really watch the game.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see the highlights. I know he had 40-something at half.
He had 41 at half.
I mean, it's Dame, though. How many of those was 3-point shots? You know?
Yeah. He shot a lot of jumpers. Yeah. He shot a lot of jumpers.
This game reminds me of Kobe in Toronto.
When he had the 81?
Yeah, you playing an unknown Houston team.
Yeah.
Can't even probably name me their starting 5 right now.
True.
So it's the same.
All I know is Jalen Green. That's really all I know.
I don't even know if he played that game.
He played that game.
Okay.
He played.
So, I mean, it's just one of them things where, credit to Dame, he did his thing, and 71 points is amazing, but it's just one of them things where it's just like, all right, took advantage of a
subpar team.
Yeah. You needed to win. Yeah. You got the win. You got what you needed. But are you doing this against Golden State? Are you doing this? And
that's why when I put this on the list, it sucks because every time you see these, great performances, it's always against bad teams.
Yeah,
I have yet to see somebody do it against a great team in which you probably will never see because they're a great team.
Yeah.
But like you said, against Houston, it was nice. I feel like efficiency-wise, it was the best I've seen, even over Kobe's 81. He was more efficient that game.
I think he was above 50%.
Yeah, above 50% shooting. Right there at it. I mean, above 50% from the field, from three-point line. He was, I think, 90-some% from the free throw line. He did get rebounds. He did get assists. And like I said, he did it in 4 quarters. Unlike everybody else, they needed overtime to get to their spot. Like even with Donovan Mitchell, he needed overtime. Yeah. Kobe went into overtime. So, and then Wilt, they say Wilt scored 100, but I think it was in overtime too as well. But I just think, with what he did in the time frame, that what makes to me it's a better showing than what the 81 and 100 was.
So, do you think anybody gonna ever pass Wilt?
I think if he'd had an overtime, he would have passed Wilt. If he'd went to overtime, because he was on pace to score 75 points. He ended up 71. I think if you give him another overtime or 2 overtimes, he scored 100 points.
Oh, yeah.
So I think with enough overtimes, yes, and the way they shooting the ball now, I can see that. So now, real quick, I know you got Kyrie on your team now. Would you pick Dame or Kyrie if you had a choice?
Am I keeping Luka?
Yeah, you're keeping Luka.
I think I'll go with Kyrie.
Go Kyrie? Okay.
Yeah. All right. I mean, just
want to throw it out there. I want to ask. I mean, I'm picking Dame, but I just want to see where your head was at.
I'm going Kyrie. I feel like Kyrie's a more facilitator than Dame as well. Like, assist wise, whatever. But yeah,
all right.
Good question.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about a little bit about the narrative about KD. I know you said that you think he's under pressure to win. Do you think that pressure is because this next title is big for his legacy? Because I know Charles Barkley came out and said that he needs to lead his own team to a championship, which, whatever. Like, it's hard. It's really hard to listen to Chuck because nothing against you, Chuck. Yeah. He don't have a ring.
Yeah.
And he himself kind of chased a ring going to different teams.
His latter years.
Yeah, his latter years of his career.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily agree that it's important for his KD legacy. I mean, winning another ring. But we all know in today's NBA, you can't do it by yourself.
No, you can't.
Dame's showing you it can't be done by yourself. You have to have another, all-star caliber player on your team. And then if you got other serviceable players on your team, you can get to that point, but that's still no guarantee you're going to win.
Yeah.
But to win, you got to have you some dogs on the court with you, man, that understand and are, in their position, top in their position.
I don't feel like it's a knock on him for not being a leader. I think just the way he moves around with it. He OKC, Golden State, to Brooklyn, to now Phoenix. It's just the way he leaves teams, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really see a problem with him going to Golden State, but you leave Golden State, go to Brooklyn. When you in my opinion, feel like he should have stayed in Golden State.
Yeah, he should never left. Yeah.
Probably could have had 7 rings if he would stayed in Golden State.
I think with that team, they'd have went on a crazy run. Yeah. But for whatever reason, like I said, a lot of people say it was him and Draymond Green. It just which now you can see Draymond Green can be a bit much.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole learned that too as well. And I just think as a whole, he kind of goes overboard with a lot of the stuff he do. So I can understand why somebody like KD, because all KD want to do is hoop. He don't want to deal with all the drama and all the scrutiny that comes from the drama. He just want to go to a team that's focused on winning. Yeah. That's all he wants to do. Yeah. So I agree with you on that. Yeah. All right, so we got 2 more seconds, man, then we're going to get out of here. Let's talk about player empowerment in the NBA. The reason why I bring that up, man, because I've been seeing some stuff in the league that I just don't understand when it comes to player management or load management. And then, of course, like I say, player empowerment, where players are having more say in what goes on in the organization. So how do you feel like that's a bad thing? And then when it comes to load management, what do you think about load management?
So I'm not a fan of load management, but the player empowerment I think is really good. Just look at the difference between the NFL and NBA.
Okay.
I feel like that NBA is more of a player-friendly league, and the NFL is more of a owners, league, pretty much. Okay. The NBA, you really can't tell me 10 NFL. I mean, you can't tell me 10 NBA owners, but I'm pretty sure you can tell me 10 NFL owners because they're in the front.
Absolutely.
I feel like the NBA let their players be in the front. They give them more control of what they can and what they can't do. The NFL lets no. Following these strict guidelines, you're doing all this. Yep. NBA is like, all right, you can be yourself a little bit too much, as we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I feel like the NBA, I like what the NBA does with the, letting their players be players and letting their players, basically
be
control.
more out in the front of everything.
Yeah. But their low management thoughts, I think Kobe said it, it's a quote going around where it says, people come to see me play, so I'm going to go out there and play. Yeah. Matter banged, bruised, or whatever. Yeah. You pay good money to go to a Lakers game and see LeBron play, but it's like,
Anthony Edwards came out during the All-Star break. He said the same thing. He was like, man, it's little kids that come and watch me play. And I get paid to play basketball. Yeah. So I'm going to do everything in my power to be out there on that floor every chance I get. Yeah. And then like you just talking about, you got people that, especially in away games, you might only come to this city once or twice for the season. Yeah. And the one time I want to bring my son or you want to bring your son and we spend $6,000 to come and then you're not playing. And not because you're hurt, it's just because, we just giving you a break. Yeah. That's why I'm with you. I don't like it. If you're hurt, I understand. Like LeBron, you out there walking with a boot on your foot. Okay, we can visibly see you're hurt. Yeah. So we get why you're not playing. But just to tell me, we just giving a player rest. Yeah. It's like some players like, bro, you've been rested for 2 years. Zion, you've been rested for 2 years. Yeah. Kawhi, you've been rested for 2 years. Paul George, you've been like all these players like, what are y'all doing in the off season where you're not able to be? I'm not saying I get it. You can't play every game. Yeah. But you should play at least 70. Yeah. If it's 82 games, you should play at least 70, 72 games. Because 10 of them, say you're going to be hurt, some little ailments, stuff like that. Yeah. But these guys playing 40, 50 games in a season. That's not it. And they talking about you are the upper echelon. This is what everybody come to see y'all. I'm not coming to see Cameron Payne. Yeah. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Damian Lee. I'm not coming to see those guys. Yeah. And those are the guys that's on the floor every single game, every single night. And I just, like I said, it bugs me, man. And I think the NBA should start implementing some type of penalty.
I've seen that they are starting to crack down on, that stuff and making it harder for people to be out because rest or,
give them incentive to play more games. If you play more games, you get paid. If you play,
they don't care about that.
But I'm just saying, give them some. I mean, give them some type of incentive and also a consequence behind that. If you're not going to play.
Put in that contract, give me 70 some games.
You gotta give me some type of standard, man. Because like I say, I'm paying you a lot of money. Guys are getting paid plenty of money to play basketball, which ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just how the market is. Can't knock nobody for getting paid to play basketball or football, baseball, whatever it is. I tell people, I don't care how much they pay them. A lot of those guys are worth it because if you look at the back end of what they're making for that team, it's not even. It's like less than 10%. Yeah, it's what they're getting of what's being earned. So, like I said, the money they making, no problem. But the load management, I can't deal with it. All right, man. So we're gonna go into this last segment. I'm gonna do my rant first because I'm gonna kind of combo all of these together.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have it.
And
you got all of it.
And so, because the reason why I put this last, and like I said, as you saw in for the ones that are watching. This segment is called The Game Isn't Enough. The reason why I said the game isn't enough, because we're watching stories and we're seeing people behave and do things in a way where it's like, man, why? Why are you doing that? First one I'm going to go to is John Morant. John Morant, why are you at a strip club flashing guns and being out partying, doing all these things? Because like I say, as a professional athlete, man, you're representing, for one, a demographic from where you come from, an area you come from, and you got people looking up to you to want to be where you are. So why is it so hard? And people just want to glorify so much of the bad. Where it's like, bro, you're a multi-millionaire professional athlete. Why do you care about being a thug? Yeah. Why do you care about having these people around you that's going to bring you down and cause you to lose everything you worked so hard for? And then they come out with these apologies, and I'm like, bro, you don't have to apologize. Just don't do it. Yeah. Just don't do it. And then you go to Jalen Carter. It's like, why are you racing? Why are you anywhere in the vicinity of a car race where somebody ends up dying? Mm-hmm. Yes, I get it. Celebrate, people. I'm not saying you can't celebrate and be thankful for accomplishing a milestone like winning a collegiate championship. Mm-hmm. But when you start talking about people losing their lives and then you leave the scene and then now look how it was in January, but now it's finna be April. You about to get drafted and now it's hurting you. Mm-hmm. Now, so those moments, you can't take them back once you do it. And then you go to Brandon Miller. Why are you giving anybody a gun? Mm-hmm. Ty, I love you, man. You my boy. But if you come to me and say, hey, DeMarcus, I need a gun. First question I have for you, why? Mm-hmm. And even then, after I investigate on why you need a gun, I'm still not giving you a gun. Yeah. Because you've already told me the reason why you need a gun. Mm-hmm. So that lets me know you're going to go out here and do something reckless. Stupid. Yeah. Which can cause me pain and anguish on the back end. Mm-hmm. And Alabama should have set Brandon Miller. Mm-hmm. He's still playing. And like I said, I get it. Police aren't going to charge him. He don't have any play in what happened, which some news has come out and said that he actually was in the vicinity of where the crime was committed. Even though he gave the gun, they say he wasn't. But now they're saying that he was there where it took place. Yeah. You know? So, and then you look at it, it's like, man, you're giving a gun to somebody that you already know what time they're on. Mm-hmm. You already know they out here doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. He already got kicked off the team. Why are you giving him a weapon? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, well, man, you're just helping a friend out. No, you're not helping a friend out. How you help a friend out is help him get out of the situation he's in. Yeah. Because you're in a good situation. Mm-hmm. You're one of the top players in the league in college, going to be a top draft pick. Why even take the risk of putting yourself in a situation like this? Mm-hmm. And then, prayers out to Michigan State. I know they had a shooting on their campus not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, man, you start looking around and everything going on, man, it's just so crazy. Yeah. And it just really bugs me, man, that people just can't take the time to stop, look, and realize that your actions and your behavior and what you do with yourself impacts people on a large scale. Yeah. And then my final thing is the New Mexico State cancellation of their season because the, heinous things that was happening or allegations of what was happening when it come to hazing. Hazing, hey, man, I get it. It's cool. You want to poke fun at somebody, make their life a little hard to be a part of something. Mm-hmm. But when it starts coming, turning to physical acts and people getting hurt and all that stuff, you can't take that stuff back, man. Yeah. So the reason why I'm even going on this little rant is people just start thinking. Yes. Start really thinking, like, is this worth it? Mm-hmm. Why do I want to present this narrative? Because it hurts people like me, you, who ourselves are trying to do something because they're like, oh, well, you just like this person, or you come from this neighborhood, or you know this person, so guilty of association. Mm-hmm. So that's my whole thing with John. That's my whole thing with Brandon Miller. That's my whole thing with Jalen Carter. It's like, guys, it's easy to be bad. It's hard to be good. Mm. That's a true thing. But you should strive more to be good because everybody else that's watching you will follow that more than they will follow anything else. Mm-hmm. Because if you be bad, they're going to follow the bad. Because everybody that's seeing him on his IG, with all his jewelry on, grilling your mouth, flashing a gun, they think that's cool. But it's really not. No. But if it's not cool, then don't do it.
Yeah. My biggest thing with that Ja thing is, one, you're on the road.
What are you doing in Denver?
Why do you have a gun on the road? So you're telling me you're carrying this with the team.
Are you on the plane with a gun, Ja?
Pretty much. That's what it sounds like.
Because if you didn't, so you went to somebody else and bought a gun, or matter of fact, the person that you invited on this road trip came to the club with a gun. You're like, hey, man, let me hold your gun real quick and let me flash it on camera. Yeah. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And then you already in trouble, already looked at for allegations of pulling a gun out on a minor, but you flash a gun. Yeah. That could be the same weapon that you apparently pulled out on this minor. And
then getting into it with Shannon Sharp at a game, which Shannon has said, numerous times, you are not a thug. Mm-hmm. And why do you want to be one? Yeah. Because you don't have no reason to be a thug. Mm-hmm. Just be a basketball player, man. And just be okay with, hey, man, I have come out of that. I don't need to go back. I saw a dude on TikTok said John Morant is going to go down as the first basketball player in history to go from the NBA to the hood. Like, you just throwing it all away, man. You just don't even care no more about basketball. Because I got to prove how down I am to these people who don't want nothing in life.
Yeah.
And you have everything in life. That's why I know the notion of having all these things is important, because it's not. Mm-hmm. It can't be, man. Because if you got everything you want, why you going to even take a chance to lose it?
Yeah.
So that's my right. But I'll let you do your spiel, and then we're going to get out of here.
You took everything out of it. Like you said, I like that you said, it's hard being, what'd you say?
It's hard. It's easy to be bad. It's hard to be good.
Yeah, that's
a real thing, man. Because like I say, me and you, what we're doing with this podcast, we're trying to do good things, trying to put out good content for everybody to be a part of and have some good stuff to talk about. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you start going out here in these streets, start doing stuff, I have to, for one, come to you and try to help you stop it.
Yep.
And also, too, if you continue to do, I got to pull away from you.
Yeah.
And then I got to go to just me and John or whoever else doing the podcast away from you, because we just can't. Because like I said,
blame you for doing that.
Exactly. Because when you don't do that, you agree to it, so you're promoting it, so you're allowing it, and then eventually it just transitions to everything you do. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So that's why I just think, people got to start standing alone, being okay with standing alone on your own, away from people that are going to pull you down to hurt you.
And think before you do.
Yeah, because, man, I would hate, for us as a team, me, you, John, as a team, to build our platform up, and then one of us start doing something crazy, and we just allow it to happen. And eventually everything we've built and worked for is gone like that. Because then it's like, man, what about all those years we put in work and all that fun we had and everything we done, all the good we put out there, to just in 1 minute change it all over for nothing. So, but, hey, man, as always, we want to thank y'all for hanging in there. I know this podcast was a little bit longer than normal, but like I said, I had a lot of this to get off our chest, man. So I just want to thank y'all for always watching. As you do, make sure, as always, you comment down below, like, subscribe, share the platform. Let us know if your thoughts on everything we talked about today, anything we can do differently to make the show better. We definitely will implement on the next show. But also follow us on all of our social media platforms. We'll be down in the details of our channel. But as always, thank y'all. And until the next episode, we'll catch you then. Peace.